Hey guys, and welcome back. Right now it is about 7:30 in the evening. I hope that this doesn't get too dark to do this, but I had to wait for the sun to go down. So with that, I'm going to be planting 2 valerian roots, also known as Jupiter's beard. Now I have one existing over here. I'm going to be removing it and talking about why I'm removing it in just a little bit. I'm also going to be creating kind of a little rock riverbed because I have a gutter here that's oversaturating my plants. So I had to tilt the camera down because there's only about 8 feet width between my fence and the house, and so this area is really tight to film, but hopefully you can see the gist of what I'm doing. I'm going to be removing this valerian root. Earlier in the springtime we got a tremendous amount of rain. It got oversaturated, so this basically started rotting even though it kind of looks healthy. So I'm going to remove it, try to salvage what I can off of this plant. Then I'm going to be planting 2 actual healthy valerian roots, and I'm going to be doing it in this container right here. I am going to place it right in the same spot, but because this gutter is right here, I don't want it to saturate the plant even from underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of a riverbed right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started before it gets any later in the evening and you can't see what I'm doing. So first things first, dig out the plants. If I damage these, it's not going to make any difference because they're more or less rotted anyway. But I'm going to do my best to salvage them. If nothing else, I will try to propagate them. Okay, so as you can see, this is pretty much, I don't even know how it was surviving and staying green because this is all rotted. And I don't believe that I can properly propagate this because the stem in here is actually, I don't even know if you can see that, but it's actually hollow. This, yeah, so I'm just going to toss this. The things that I'm going to be using, so I'm going to use potting soil. I'm going to be using some decorative rocks, and I'm also going to be using a little bit of, basically this is, what is this? This is landscape fabric, so that's what I'm going to be using. So that's going to go probably about right there. So I basically want it to go in a slope down. This way, when I put my container here, it's not gonna oversaturate from the ground up, and it won't seep on either side. So that's the goal. But you do want it to be in a slant going down so that you're not directing the water back to your home. Okay. And now that I have that dug out, I'm not going to use this cloth at all, because once the water is directed out, I want the water to go back into the earth. Just in case I plant anything over here, it'll at least get some water there. So what I will do is I will put plastic right here. This way it keeps it away from the foundation and the house. So this way it'll just run over this direction. In fact, why don't we repurpose this? That'll be in there. I can cover this with dirt. You won't even see it. So one of the things that I like to do is stand back, see where I'm at, see if I like it, and then go from there. Going to be able to see me connecting this bubbler to it. And the reason why I'm adding it right now is because the water's going to turn on here in just a few minutes. I want to make sure that these get watered tonight. I'll just show you really close up. What I'm doing is I'm just connecting my water line to the bubbler. Get that in there really nice and snug. I'm gonna put a hole through my main irrigation line, and I'm gonna use a T to connect both hoses. Okay, you guys, it's really getting late, so I will see you in the morning and we'll finish this up. So good morning. I got quite a bit done and it's starting to look really, really nice. But I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to continue to extend this just a little bit further out. And yeah, and then I will show you the results. So I'm creating a little bit of a channel, so when the water runs down, if it doesn't just go ahead and soak into the ground and it runs over to the side, it doesn't run on top of my rock path. Okay, you guys, I'm completely done and I can't express enough how much I love it. I think you'll agree that this looks 100 times better than what it did before. Now, I did have to stop filming for a little while because we had some construction going on in our driveway, and then all the neighbors decided to also do construction, so I couldn't film. But that's okay because it gave me time for all my plants to actually get watered properly. With my new irrigation system, everything is growing very fast and I can't be happier with it. So I did add, speaking of that, I did add just a 1/4 inch soaker hose to this, and let me look at it. It's gotten big in just 2 weeks and I'm loving it. My Dichondra, it was very small when I first put it in, and look at it, it's just flowing, and now you can see what it's going to look like. And Dichondra is a perennial, so this will come back every year. And by the way, I keep calling this Valerian root. It's red Valerian, so just a slight correction there. And it is also known as Jupiter spear. And as you knew and you saw, that mine was getting oversaturated and it basically got killed because of the drainage from this gutter. And it was just every time we get a really large rainfall, this was becoming an issue. And so I'm glad and I'm thankful that that happened, because all this got created. I was able to save my foundation in my home, and now this is not going to be an issue anymore. Especially because I did slope it down, as you saw, and I also dug it down pretty far. Now, I'm not crazy about the white rocks, but eventually they'll get kind of muddied over through the seasons, so maybe that'll look better. But right now I'm not loving it as much as I thought, but overall this dry creek to me looks really good, and I hope you like it as well. But let me go over the plants really quick and then I'll wrap it up. I put a heuchera over here. I put the fern that I had up on my front garden over here, because I have a lot of ferns in this shade garden, and it just kind of brought it all together, especially because I have one right across from me over here. I have one over there, so it just kind of completed it. And then I did put back my Laminum, and that's even grown since I started putting my irrigation system, because I do have a bubbler right over here. I just staked it down quite low. And I also added a little bit more of Dichondra down on the ground, because this can be used as ground cover as well. So I'm going to see how that works out going forward. But I love it. I also painted the trellis black, and I added it over the creek just to give it that upright stature. And I just love this trellis, so I'm glad that I put it back in. Now, I did choose to put this in a container because I have all these containers over here, and it just kind of ties all the containers together. You know, and I went purposely with a dark container because this way, all this flowers, you know, the dark green foliage of the red valerian and the pink flowers, it's just going to pop out, and I didn't want the container to be a focal point. I wanted this to be the focal point. And the Dichondra has just got the silvery look to it, so that's just going to add a little bit of shimmer, especially right next to the creek. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I loved creating this, and I'm loving this. So I will give you a walkthrough just so you can see what it looks like. Probably will make some changes to that other side a little bit because I did add some of the White River rock over there, trying to do something with it. But anyway, that's it for me, you guys. I will see you guys next Thursday. Mwah! Love you. And I'll see you later.